All right, guys, we got the new Stance RTR by Vanquish. My plan is to keep it stock like this and just change the steering servo, add a little bling with our new gold washers until we do the next part, which we go into the motor ESC and all that stuff. But I think we're gonna keep it this way. I think all it's lacking is just some rock pushing. So we're gonna try this out stock. I think I'm getting the best clearance because these are not real 475s, I don't think. These are like 2.2s.
Cut shots.
Look at that though.
5.25s.
They're just walking right now. Let's have a little bit more steering power. Ooh, don't fall.
The world is watching.
Uh-oh. Can I save it? Wow.
Look at that.
We try all the trucks. See how far we can get it to go stock. Oh, wrong way there. Can it do it stock? Wow. Oh man, I'm stuck right there. That was, well, it did it. I'm impressed. So this is all stock. We haven't done anything. I just think I'd like to be able to wiggle the tires a little bit more. But look at that, even the side hilling, the tire. Oh. I don't want to scratch it.
I know, I noticed you.
Let's see the downhill. Oh. The clearance on the portals though is where it's at. People say portals on this course is the way to go. It did really, really good. But you know me, I like to have something up front here, a steering servo that's going to be able to wiggle really fast or push some rocks out of the way. But I mean, hey, it did the lava hill stock. So we're not going to do anything else. We're going to run direct power because I don't want to change the ESC and motor right now. So this is what we got right now.
All right, guys, as you just saw, we just took out the Vanquish Stance truck on our course and it did amazing. It walked right up the rock hill with a couple little issues here and there, but it was really just picking the right line to make it up and over, and it did a great job. The body being clearance got out of the way. We didn't have any issues there. Bumpers are all tucked in. Everything's ready to go. So for this truck, like we said, we're going to go ahead and install our 777 direct powered servo. We're going to use our servo horn and then the new gold washers up front. As you can see, they don't even have a head card because I just took them out of inventory before we even created it. We're going to leave the motor and ESC and everything else stock for the time because it did so well. but we want to throw in a little extra power to be able to dominate those rocks and throw this truck around in typical REEFS fashion. So let's get to that install right now. Okay, you're going to want to start with your 2mm driver and remove the servo horn. I'm removing it from the servo and the drag link because we're going to be replacing the horn. You're then going to take the 4 bolts that hold the servo on and take those off. You'll need a set of snips right here to remove that zip tie, and then you can take the servo completely out. Then you're basically going to do everything in reverse. I'm installing our gold washers, so I used 4 countersunk screws to make that look nicer and went ahead and put everything back together. I will put the servo horn on once the truck is powered up and I can set the servo to 0. That is crucial when installing a servo. You want to make sure you're putting the horn on when everything's set to 0. All right, guys, so we have our 777 in. As you can see here, we just used our gold washers, and I swapped out the standard screws for some countersunk screws. That way they just sit in the washer a little bit better. We also went ahead and made some adjustments to how we're going to get power to our 777. So we currently offer 2 separate options. We currently have an XT60 option, which you'll plug into here, goes into your battery. We have 2 pigtails off of that, which will plug into the stock connector for the 777. Or we have our 777 3S and 2S and 4S balance connectors. For the 777, you can only use 2S or 3S, but that will connect to this little balance plug right here on your battery from here to the stock connector. If you're experienced and you know how to solder and you want to go this route, you can also direct solder it into your battery plugs. That means anytime the battery is plugged in, the servo already has power. So what that means is if you're going to be running your truck, you can no longer use the on-off switch that comes in that truck, because as soon as the battery is plugged in, it's immediately sending power to the servo, and you're going to be draining your servo the entire time you're running. So we went ahead and went that route. It's just cleaner, less wires, and we're going to go ahead and plug this in here, and we are going to set up 0. So you want to grab your stock remote, and you want to make sure the sub trim is on 0 already. So let's see, that's set. Trim left, no. So it's already trimmed left to 30%. We don't want any trim in it at all. We want the servo to be at complete 0. Okay, so now that we're at 0, I already have my horn connected to the tie rod. What I'm going to do is just straighten the servo out, the wheels out as much as I can and go ahead and hook that servo up there. If you need to, you can make a slight adjustment left or right from there. But what you want to do is just get that servo on there and connected. And of course, I think I tightened the dual clamping mounts a little too much, so that is why I am struggling. Yeah, of course. Install 1,000 servos off camera, everything goes according to plan. You install 1 on camera, and you can't get it in at all. Can't get it in. We're going to take our screw here. We're going to go ahead and just thread this bad boy in. And then what we're going to do is set up our endpoints and get our dual locking clamps connected. So thread it in nice and tight. So we obviously have the dual connections. You can reach the top one if you slightly turn the servo. We can get that up there. And then the same thing for the bottom one. You just hit the servo to a point where it pops up a little bit, and then that makes your life just so much easier. So I like to set endpoints by turning the truck upside down. Normally I have it face me, but I'm gonna have it face the camera today. And then I give it a little bit of gas, and I go ahead and turn the wheels. So you can see here, we're not rubbing on anything, and we're still not maxing out the CVDs. And we're gonna go this side, and see we're basically rubbing on the tire of the lower link there, but that's fine, we're still not maxing out the CVDs. So to get full throw, I'm going to adjust this side, because here you can see pretty much, it's not great to see there. You can see it there, that it's hitting, reversed, hitting on the link, and this side is not. So we're just gonna go ahead and make that quick adjustment here. Let's see here, channel, select. Steering reverse, no. EPA for steering, and we're gonna go ahead and just bump that up. So left is fine, so we're gonna go back. Right is what we wanna go up to. But I don't want steering, how do I get the steering exponential? Steering exponential is not what you want. You want exponential forward, exponential back. Steering trim, no, no. Dual rate steering, 100%. So they don't offer individual steering here, and they don't allow you to go over 100%. So with the stock remote, this is what we're done with. You can't adjust it independently from anything that I'm saying. Steering dual rate is set for both channels. Yeah, because you have steering reverse, EPA for steering. Yeah, so this should allow me. Yeah, okay. So I was looking at the wrong channel. Sorry, guys. I don't have a lot of experience with this remote. But as you can see there, now we're maxing out that servo. And look at, so now we're getting a little bit of rub. So I'm going to go back to, look how smooth that is. And then we have that there. What you want to make sure to do, like we're going to go up a bunch just for demonstration. So you don't want it to look like this. See how that front wheel is grabbing and bending, grabbing and bending? This means, number one, you're hitting on this link. Number two, you could be maxing out your CVDs. If you're running an ultra high-end comp truck and you want and need that steering and you know that's there, fine. For us average folk, it's not 100% necessary. So we're just going to go back through here and we're just going to take it back down to 115. 115 was enough. We're still touching. It's not crazy. And then we have full steering left and right. And I mean, look how much quicker we're getting steering with the 777. So this is run directly off of 3S. And on this hard ground, we were getting much quicker steering. It's shaking my whole desk. So that's the video for now. Vanquish Stance, we went ahead and dropped in our 777. We're using our gold servo mounts and we're using our gray V2 horn. We connected it to the battery. All the links will be in the description below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get video notifications as soon as the videos go live. Thanks for watching, guys.